All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business today. Gonna see if it has BSS for its one main Google search, local and city search combined of Tulia, Texas. Now we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So got our FSIC, kind of our graph here in white. Highest intent people on the left, Google search, social search, they're searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. The videos talk about here, dealing with that, BSS. Over on the right, we got the lowest intent peeps. We got to reach them through interruption ads, Facebook, Instagram. They are not searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now, and they most likely have no idea what the heck it even is. So we talk about that in our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS. And currently over there, we currently only work with boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. All right, so BSS, boudoir search sameness. Some boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. 0 slots, we're dead. If we're in page 2 or deeper only, and that's because we know that approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So we're invisible to approximately 80% of the market, which would be the buyers from page 2. We got to be on page 1. And 1 slot on page 1 is not good enough either, because everyone, literally everyone is, the other 9 boudoir photographers that'll be there, because organic search has 10 slots on Google. None of the boudoir photographers, everyone's got 1 slot. We're looking the same as everyone else. We're still invisible, not looking at anything special. And boudoir photographers, or buyers, when they go and search, they're actually approximately 80% only use page 1. So they click on everyone on page 1, open up their website, fill out their contact form, contact them, price shop, compare, and drive margins down, drive price down, negotiate, waste everyone's time. And so BSS is just bad for everyone. Well, bad for all boudoir photography businesses. Now, 0-1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. So it's common, it's accepted, it's not normal. It's 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So basically everyone knows market saturation. Yeah, you'll get new gear over time, new iPhone, new camera, and then decide to start posting or, throw up their Google My Business profile saying they offer boudoir photo shoots now. Or, and they got their boudoir website, ranking page 1 on Google, competing with all of us. And they're also posting them on Facebook groups and they shoot boudoir now, offer boudoir shoots now. So everyone knows about that. Kind of more sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for each seller. Also saw that time during COVID, people lost their jobs but still needed to earn money. And as a result, they actually went and, basically they went and had super saturation for in a lot of cities. Now, false belief page 1 equality, very few people know about that, if any. And this is basically assuming every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. And it's kind of a coin flip if you get 0 or 1. And maybe you did have 1 slot on page 1 on Google, but then someone else ranked better with their new website, that entered the marketplace. So you got kicked off to page 2, and then you're like, oh, well, that's simply how it is. And then you hope they delete their website and Google de-indexes them so you can get back onto page 1. Wrong, wrong, wrong. This is 100% incorrect. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days. So I know that Google will actually give as many page 1 slots as you want to put in the effort to acquire. 100% guaranteed. And I know because I've done it. Now, boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer, DBP. Yeah, man. So if you're on page 2 or deeper, invisible to approximately 80% of the market, you're obviously disappearing. And if you're on page 1 but only have 1 link, looking the same as the other 9 competing boudoir photographers there, you're also disappearing. You're invisible. Your margins are definitely disappearing, even if you are getting inquiries. And as a result, we say this DBP, disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS, it's kind of the check engine light, the first flag, the canary in the coal mine that the boudoir photography business itself is going on a path to totally disappearing. Luckily, we found the solution. We found it because we discovered it and we created it. We found that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And I mean, it works exactly as the name says. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. That's kind of like the snow at the top of the backside of the Andes Mountains in South America, the east side. And, that snow melts, goes into small streams, small rivers, and then it all flows into the massive Amazon River. That's page one on Google search, but it all starts with the snow up at the top. That's our social search saturation. Without the snow, there ain't no rivers. And this is actually the only solution for boudoir photographers I've seen that can still allow boudoir photography business to grow in spite of massive market saturation relatively quickly without even having a brand, a large known brand. And we know because, brands take 5 to 10 years to build up a large known brand. Dude, we ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI's here taking people's jobs. We need maximum exposure, page one, social search, Google search right now. And so waiting to build a brand ain't going to do that. And actually, my estimate is utilizing S-cubed methodology will actually speed up the process of having a large, well-known brand by approximately 8x. So imagine you're a large, well-known brand, people come to you, and you're still utilizing S-cubed methodology, you'd basically be untouchable, no matter how much market saturation is there. So an example for S-cubed methodology allowing or enabling a boudoir photography business to still grow in the face of market saturation is, let's say we got 1 million boudoir photographers in LA, and we're one of them. Everyone's got a website saying they shoot boudoir photography, and they are, everyone's got their website trying to rank page one on Google. There's only 10 slots for 1 million boudoir photographers. Insanely competitive. Everyone's being price shopped down to zero margin because there's so many competitors. And as a result, we are, since we don't have a brand, the only other solution we got is S-cubed methodology. So say we take it, we crank it up to the max. Now let's say for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, what actually happens is, let's say we're taking up the first 300 slots on social search for all sorts, social media platforms for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And as a result, that flows onto Google page one, and we actually get 300 slots for Google. Well, the first 10 slots, it's 10 organic slots per page. So the first we're taking out basically the first 30 pages is essentially only us. So boudoir buyer would basically have to go to page 31 to find any of our competitors on Google, and same on social search. So after social search, scroll down all the way to slot 301. And so in this case, whose business is growing? If we're taking up essentially all the slots, anyone, everywhere, wherever anyone looks on social search. Well, we're probably the only business still growing because we're essentially the only one they can find. Everywhere they look, it's only us. So, this is a maximum example, but this is the magic of S-cubed methodology that could happen. Now, once true with S-cubed methodology, we have page one visibility. And we get a second initial benefit, which is we're able to kick competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. So this actually benefited a lot of boudoir photographers more. This is the more slots we get. Page one, first benefit, we actually kick our competing boudoir photographers off page two, second benefit, making them invisible to the approximately 80% of boudoir buyers searching on Google. And page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. We care about, the GBC universe recommends to have 3 out of 10 minimum number of slots page one on Google. And the reason for that is, basically everyone else is gonna have 1 slot. So our 3 slots versus 1, they're 1. We're gonna look amazingly exceptional against them. And on the rare chance someone has 2 slots, well, we're dominating them as well. That's kind of basically guaranteeing us winning in all scenarios. And obviously we can increase that above 3 if we want. And a boudoir photographer with BSV, boudoir search visibility, is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So this is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and page one equality, or the false belief of page one equality. Thankfully, we finally now have a solution, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, now my results, quick results with me, utilizing S-cubed methodology for myself. I want to dominate page one on Google for this search term, BLCS boudoir. So I started with 0 out of slots page 1, 0 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search, and I started utilizing SQ methodology. So here we go, organic. Instagram slot, page 1, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. And so I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search in only 10 days, purely utilizing SQ methodology. Did not even have a website. So these are the results I've gotten with it. Now the main event here, we're gonna look at this boudoir photography business and check out, see if they got BSS for their local and their city search. Actually, they're in one, this time Tulia, Texas. I think it's in between Dallas and Amarillo, Texas, but they call it Amarillo. So let's check here. So here we go. Let's go roll to the organic slot. So here's what we got. We got slot 1. We got slot 2. Boom. Slot 3. Boom. Slot 4. Slot 5. Slot 6. Slot 7. And all right, dude, we got 7 out of 10. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We say page 1 dominance starts at 8 out of 10, so almost 8 out of 10 slots here. But dude, imagine, dude, they just kicked off 6 or 7 other competing with the photographers to be price shopped against for the 80% of searches on Google. Fantastic. This is what we want. This is what we want. Tulia, Texas. And yeah, we don't have it's local city search combined. So boom, perfect. This boudoir photography business does not have BSS, boudoir search sameness, for their local/city Google search. And they also have exceeded the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots Google page 1 organic search. So fantastic, fantastic. This is what we all wanna get to. Now, if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, where you've done your own local search for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords and your city search, and either you got BSS for one or both of those searches, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 for one or both of those searches, and you're seeing that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. You've accepted that, and you're seeing SQ methodology is the only way forward, the only solution, and you've literally been waiting for something like this, and you're understanding the market saturation, people's getting new gear, and you're loving the initial benefits, more page 1 slots on Google, and even as a bonus, kicking out competitors in the same city from Google. And with the market saturation, you're seeing AI is going to be taking more people's jobs. So number of boudoir photographers in the market's only going to ever increase more and more into the future as AI takes more and more people's jobs. And so you're saying, okay, we got to fortify our search page 1 status on Google, and we actually need like backup links to our page 1 links that could still be ranking for page 1 because we got so much, we saturated the market so much, right? At least those specific high intent buyer keywords so much. Kind of like fortifying the levees in Nolens, Louisiana for the ocean. And you say, oh, SQ methodology is exactly perfect for that. So hey, that's another kind of bonus to doing it. And you want to achieve page 1 visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer and achieve boudoir search visibility because you need these things in order to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also understand the future benefits of successfully executing everything from SQ methodologies starting from today, which is, we're basically building up invisible thematic keyword columns plugged in or attached to our brand, our website, our business name, our brand name. That is what every day we increase those invisible thematic keyword columns, we're actually building AI search mindshare. So every day we successfully execute SQ methodology, we're actually increasing the probability we are featured and continue to be featured in this AI overview at the top of Google search, the most premium placement, and we don't even have to pay any ads to get it. And this is, has momentum, where we can achieve momentum, but we do got to continue building momentum, growing momentum through successful execution of execute methodology. And we also know that as we continue to execute methodology correctly, increase the probability of back-end AI search recommendations as well. So things like ChatGPT search, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, increasing the chance AI search recommends us more and more every single day of successful SQ methodology execution. And I know last time I looked for boudoir photographers in a city, it was with ChatGPT, and dude, it gave me 3. But when I went to actually like manual Google search in that city, I was able to find like 60. So manually searching. So we gotta get these AI search slots because yeah, right now Google's approximately 90% of global search, but dude, every single day AI search is increasing every single day, and the best strategy, number one strategy I've seen for boudoir photographers to be recommended through it is SQ methodology. And also, you're an early adopter. You're seeing that since my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city, you're seeing that you can actually prevent your competitors from ever using this strat and actually build up a massive gap of AI mindshare momentum with utilizing SQ methodology to, again, create these invisible thematic keyword columns, attach them to your brand, build up the AI mindshare. And conversely, if one of your competitors was to go with me, you see that you would actually have to go rederive SQ methodology for yourself, re-execute it for yourself, and you'd actually have to equal me and your competitor's execution every day. And that would simply maintain the gap that me and your competitor would have already built up ahead of you. So you'd actually have to double or triple our output every single day of SQ methodology to begin pulling that AI mindshare, those invisible thematic keyword columns away from your competitor and my brand back to yours. And you would not be 100% confident you've even derived SQ methodology correctly in the first place to even put that massive amount of effort into executing it. So you see no that and you're like, screw that, because you realize nobody's got 80 hours in a day to do all that stuff. So you decide you're simply going to be the first mover in your city to actually be using SQ methodology, prevent your competitors from using it. And so if that's you, shoot me a DM when my DM's actually open. Yeah, hospital is currently closed for new patients. And if we, when I open the hospital for new patient intake, I'll put it here somewhere in the videos, and shoot us a DM then, and then we'll see if you qualify for using our S cubed methodology.